Start with a prayer of the merging of the heavens and the earth. Shemiku Kishabihu Ushihinte. Mi ilu ilaya Chemiki Buloke. Yidesham Shem Kuzriel Kolam. Amen. A lot of people seem to be upset with the selection of the Supreme Court judge. And it's really affecting them. And it brings up a very interesting point, is that if we're affected by it, we essentially have allowed ourselves to become slaves to the happenings of the external world. I can think of a lot of things I don't like about the Trump administration. Being adapted in Lakota, certainly the whole thing about the pipeline was a huge issue. And some people, again, are very upset. But there's a key here that this one's getting at, is that in spiritual life, we don't want to become slaves to the events of the external world. How do we do that? Well, we do that by going within and knowing the truth doesn't reside out there. The truth is within us. And we go inside to that place of peace, non-causal peace, non-dependent on what's outside, then we are in essence undisturbed internally. Well, we may be disturbed externally, but that isn't really the point. The point is to be undisturbed internally. It doesn't really get to us. It may be inconvenient, maybe we clearly disagree with it, but it really has nothing to do with us at a deeper level. Now, if we don't have that connection with that inner light of who we are, then all we have is our connection with the outer world. We become very, very dependent on the events of the outer world to feel good, to feel peaceful, to feel love. And in the spiritual path, it has a lot to do, empowerment has a lot to do to know that the truth resides within us as us, and that true peace has nothing to do with the outer world, but what's going on in the inner world. So that's an important spiritual message of how to really look at the outer events and not be a slave. Go within and experience the non-causal bliss, non-causal love, non-causal peace, and non-causal compassion of the truth of who we are. And now, another response is, well, that's unfair. Actually, I haven't known anything in life that's fair. We have 20,000 genes, 200 gene variations. All of us are different. It's all unfair. It's all uneven. This one has to eat this kind of diet, this one has to eat that kind of diet, this one has to work twice as hard to learn math, and that one just can hear music and just get it right away. It's all unfair. Now, that being said, what's the advantage of it all being unfair? It's called karma. And if we understand that we are given certain things that seem unfair, then if we understand that, they don't really, although they seem unfair, the truth is, it's for, if we get it, our spiritual upliftment. So things come to us and say, what's wrong with this? What's not? And if we say, okay, I'm going to turn this into a point of spiritual light for myself, a point of waking up in this area, because this, quote, unfairness bothers me. I have now elevated myself spiritually. So, in the big picture for our spiritual evolution, the fact that everything is unfair is a really good thing. Fairness is an illusory concept, except fairness under the application of law. That's a different issue, but we're talking about life, okay? And each of us gets our own set of circumstances that are only for us to help us grow spiritually. And we can look at it and say, well, that's unfair. This person has better math skills, and that's just not unfair. I'm working so hard at math. It's like it takes me 3 times as long. Or I'm working so hard at music, it takes me 3 times as long. Fine. That's because we're not made equal. That's because we have an issue with music. We have to work extra harder to develop our ear and develop our sense of melody. Fine. That's what we have to do in this lifetime. So if we take what appears to be unfair and we turn it into our spiritual advantage by helping us grow, then we understand that what appears to be unfair is actually a real gift to us, to grow spiritually. So there's 2 messages, but they're also connected. Things happen, and we can choose not to be a slave to the happenings in the external world, which is a big deal in today's world. And we also can choose to not be discouraged if things aren't equal, because the truth is they're never equal. Now, once we've made those clarity, then we can choose to act in the way it's most appropriate, not because we're upset, but because we have a sense of justice, a sense of peace, and a sense of creating a good order in the world. But we're not doing it out of anger, we're not doing emotional reactivity, we're doing it because we're in flow with the divine. So may everybody be blessed to understand it's always unfair, and we will elevate ourselves spiritually with it. And we choose not to be slaves to the events of the external world. Peace be with you.